Peace, family. Peace. Come on in. I want to address these accusations and see if we can come to some kind of agreement or disagreement as to what's going on. Around the World is in. Come on, family. Oh man, Titans TV in. A Astri's in. M Cinco's in. Shabaka Tahaka's in. Brian, Ian, Richard. Yeah, so what I've been seeing, yo, what's good, Callum, man? What's good, bro? What I've been seeing is these comments around the internet that Tommy Robinson is a white supremacist and Sarah Garvey is a black supremacist. So I want to kind of unpack what people basically mean by this and why these kind of accusations are flying around. First of all, I'll address myself because I can only speak for myself. We can talk about Tommy Robinson in a minute. When I sat down to speak with Tommy Robinson months ago now, before he was put in jail for filming, the accusations were Tommy Robinson is a racist, white supremacist guy who doesn't like black people or anyone who's not white. However, he found himself sitting down with me. So, and that's not to say he isn't a racist white supremacist, but I would say, because I can never know what's in somebody's head. However, you can see, or you can kind of make up your mind whether or not somebody's actually going to give you the time of day, if they don't like you because of your skin color. And so I sat down to speak with him. And then people started saying, oh, you shouldn't sit down and speak with Sarah Garvey. He's a black supremacist. He's like the KKK, the black version. So I want to kind of address this stuff because it keeps coming up. It keeps coming up that I'm a black supremacist, and I think people are basically they're basically triggered because of my statement that I say that I'm the daddy or I'm their father. It seems to trigger people, but when I say that, I'm really talking genetics. I'm really talking African genetics, and it's science. It's me being tongue in cheek, but it's not me like, being a supremacist. African genetics are the reason for human existence. But I know that it triggers some people. So I say it in a way that kind of gets to them and grinds on them. Right. But I'm a black supremacist. So kind of I'd like to kind of unpack that and say, I'll ask the family, I'll throw it out. What does black supremacy look like? If we close our eyes, right, as a family, and then just let's ask ourselves, just envision what black supremacy looks like. Because I think people are getting this thing really like confused. What does black supremacy look like? Can somebody give me an example of black supremacy, please, so I can understand? Family in the chat, we've got 74 people up in here, 11 likes, like the thing, family. And also, what does black supremacy look like? I just want to know, that's all, because I've been accused of being a black, like if we just close our eyes and envision it, and then, okay, cool, fantastic. Close your eyes and tell me what white supremacy looks like. Like, what does white supremacy look like? Because I'll just go off what I see when I see white supremacy. If I close my eyes and I see white supremacy, I see the KKK, I see lynchings, I see burnings, I see enslavement, I see castrations, I can see burning crosses. That's what, when I say white supremacy, that's what I see in my head when someone says white supremacy. What do you see in your head when someone says melanated goddess peace? What do you see when you hear black supremacy? What do you see? Because I don't know what it is. I don't know what black supremacy looks like. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I can't. This is what I'm trying to understand. Like, I don't know what it looks like. I've heard someone say, oh, it looks like the Black Panthers. And I was like, okay, cool. Black supremacy looks like the Black Panthers, bunch of black people, berets, dark glasses, guns. Okay, cool. However, what did the Black Panthers actually do? I mean, it didn't go around killing anyone. It didn't go around lynching anyone. It didn't enslave anyone. You know, they didn't do any of that. So what does black supremacy look like? This is what I'm trying to understand. And people say, oh, Sarah Garvey's a black supremacist. How? Like, how? What is that? What? I don't, because maybe I'm ignorant, you know? I can be ignorant, but I want to know what black supremacy actually is. Like, what does it look like? How does it actualize itself? South African government said small grey uniform. Is the South African government black supremacy? How? How? They weren't a racist group at all. Very inclusive in their detriment to their detriment. It says free. Oh, sorry, nothing's going to say free woman Katir. Yeah, I don't know if the black killing white people. Okay, fantastic. Um, Small grey uniform. Like I said before, um, I don't mince my words and I try to be as objective as possible. Black supremacy is American basketball. Anyway, okay. Black supremacy is basketball. The white farmers in South Africa, maybe. Okay, so let's unpack that. I would love to unpack that, and I've always been trying to. The white farmers in South Africa, a lot of them are being killed. Okay, um, but then, like I said, okay, so I said if I look at white supremacy for me, now I could be wrong. White supremacy for me is trying to understand the psychology of as to why white people would start burning crosses on people's lawns, why they would start lynching them, why they would enslave them, why they would castrate them. So, but black supremacy, or what people are talking about in relation to the white farmers of South Africa, and I'm not condoning it, is a reaction to white supremacy. Does that make sense? Like what I said, I'm not condoning it, but it's a reaction. And so I've always said if I punch you in your face and then you punch me in mine, like, I can't be like, oh my God, he punched me in my face. It's like, well, you reacted to my punch. You did. You reacted to my punch. And so the reaction of what's going on in South Africa is a reaction to white supremacy. And I'm not saying it's a good reaction. I'm not saying it's a bad reaction. I'm saying it's a reaction, and we've got to be objective about it because the black people in South Africa didn't just wake up one day and just feel, you know what we're going to do? Let's just start killing white farmers. No, there was a whole context to that whole argument, right? There's a whole context to that whole thing. As I said, South Africa is a mess. Okay, it was a mess, and I've said to people already: be careful of the doors that you open because it's going to be a mess because it started as a mess. Okay, it started as a mess. So I'm not condoning white people being killed, and I'm not condoning farmers being killed. I'm just saying it's a reaction, and I've always said you can't cry about the reaction when the action was first taken by somebody else. It's weird. You know, I've always said you can't have a 2 second memory about these things. You can't. You really can't. Like I said, today, if somebody gets up, because we talk about motive. If there's a murder happens, people always talk about motive. What was a motive for the murder? Okay. And if somebody was sitting down one day, you know, just got up and just murdered somebody, you'd be like, why did they do that? But if you didn't know that there would have been a lifetime of abuse, that they've been abused and they just had enough, then you'd be like, oh, okay, that was the motive. You don't just say, oh, that person just, you do say, because the action was murder, I understand, it was a murder, but you'd want to know the motive. And the motive is not condoning the murder. Do you know what I'm saying? It's trying to understand why the murder happened. The murder happened because the person was being abused for years, nobody knew about it, and they snapped one day and said, I'm going to kill them. I'm not condoning the murder. I'm trying to understand why the murder happened. trying to understand what's going on in South Africa would probably best suit us instead of us getting emotionally involved and emotionally triggered and say, okay, why is this happening? It's happening because it's a reaction to abuse. Let's just be honest. South Africa's abuse towards Black people has been historically just crazy. It's been crazy. And now Black people are in a position, it's the hate that hate produced, you see, guys. I'm telling you, careful of the doors you open. It's the hate that hate produced. So if you went to people with hate, hang on a minute. Small grey uniform says, really sorry, I'm proper confused. You're trying to soften it. The farmers didn't abuse anybody. This is what I'm trying to say. But the farmers, I'm not saying the farmers abused anybody. I'm really not. I'm saying the land that they're on, according to the African people, is their land. So when you have an affinity with your land and you know your land was taken illegally, okay, just like you had affinity with your house and you know your house was taken illegally, if you get the chance to get your house back, you're gonna go get it back. And I know I would go get it back. I'll be like, fuck everybody else. I'm getting my house back. It's mine. Okay. I don't care if it took 100 years. I'd tell my grandchildren, listen, this is our house. Okay. When you get a chance to get it back, you get that motherfucker back. Okay. That's just what happens. And everyone's acting as if they can't see the objective nature of this because people are generally caught up in their emotion. But objectively speaking, anyone, I don't care what race you are, it wouldn't even matter the race or religion. You know that if your house was taken from you, you don't care how many generations it would take to get your house back, you go get it back. You'd go get it back, and I'd go get mine back. So I'd be like, fuck that. I'd be like, kids, grandkids, I'm gonna be off on my deathbed soon. But listen, remember, see that house over there? That's our house, and you get it back when you get a chance. Sounds an awful lot like you're justifying their actions. Like I said, Ebots, I'm not justifying killing. I'm saying it's going to be a mess, and I'm saying let's not act like we don't know why it's going on. I'm not out here saying, yeah, kill the white man, we'll kill farmers, da, da, da. Because like I said, my last video, I was explaining that if in Great Britain, it would be the same. I said, if the Chinese invaded Great Britain tomorrow, the British people would tell all of their people, listen, even though the Chinese have invaded, this is British land, okay? This land is for British people, and we don't give a damn whether the Chinese are in. And if the British got into a position of power to take the land of Great Britain back, they'd take it back. And they take it back with bloodshed too. They would. They just would. And I said, it's just because the first instance from the Chinese invading, this is hypothetical now, the first instance for Chinese invading was violent, was bloody, was all that kind of stuff. So how do you expect it not to be taken back via the same means? It's like, I don't know. Marcus Gilbert says, what do you think is a viable solution for an issue in South Africa? I think a viable solution for South Africa, I would say, to hand the land back to the people, first of all. Let the people decide what they want to do with their land. Because I said, if we're honest, we know the land was taken illegally. We know it was taken under apartheid, and we know we don't like apartheid, you see. People are like, no, we don't like apartheid. Apartheid's bad. Apartheid was really bad. It's like, well, okay, cool. Apartheid was bad. I agree. So what are we going to do about it? We're going to say apartheid was bad and then keep the land? We're going to say apartheid was bad and keep the economic system going that, disenfranchises the people of Africa? It's like, I don't get it. Like, I don't know. I said, I'm not a politician, so I don't know. I'd have to really know the ins and outs, but I'm just saying generally, no one wants to take their stuff. No one wants to get their stuff taken from them. They just don't. They don't. What we saying? But let's get back to Tommy Robinson being a white supremacist now. Tommy Robinson's apparently a white supremacist. So like I said, the vision of a white supremacist to me is, KKK, burning crosses, lynchings, all that kind of stuff. So I'm like, how does white supremacy now apply to Tommy Robinson? I don't see that it does. You know, I don't see that it does. Just like I don't see that black supremacy applies to me, but people try to label me as one. And they try to label Tommy Robinson as a white supremacist. And I'm like, I don't see that. I don't. People can say that, like I said, Rax is in the building. People can say that, Tommy Robinson might have racial prejudices. And I would say all of us do. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're Chinese, Indian, white, black. I don't care. Everyone has racial prejudices to some degree. There are varying degrees of racial prejudices. Okay. Most people like their own people. Generally, most people like their own people. Like that is not something to be like ashamed of. It doesn't make sense for you not to like your own people. Then you get varying degrees of I like my own people, but I hate those people. Then we start to get into like different kind of, weird like supremacist type ideologies and thinking. But if you like your own people, like your own people. I wouldn't expect anything less. But don't like your own people and then start saying we like our own people and we hate those other people. Then we get into supremacy and then start saying, oh, we're better than those people because of X, Y, and Z. I don't believe that applies to either myself or Tommy Robinson. I don't. I don't think I'm better than anybody else. And I've never stated I am. Like I said, I'm the daddy, okay, genetically, but it doesn't mean that I'm better. And I've had this conversation so many times. It doesn't mean I'm not saying I'm better. Just not saying that I'm better than anybody else. And I don't believe if we're all human beings, no one's better than anybody else. We just have varying degrees of cultures and ways in which cultures do things differently. And I will say, like, we can get to the Islam debate and the Arab debate, and we can say, are the Arabs worse? Are they better? They're not worse or better. They just are who they are. The problem is their ideology is not compatible with the ideology of say, Western civilizations or African civilizations. It only seems to be compatible with themselves, you see? So, of course, you're going to get a clash of ideologies here, but you're not better. In my view, I will see, you know what? I don't like that. That's not good for me. And that's not the way I do my thing. Okay. But if that's the way they do it, so be it. But I need to do it with their people and do it over there and stop trying to superimpose it. Just like I want to superimpose my ways and beings on other people, they should stop doing it and try to superimpose their ways and beings on people too. That's what I think. So yeah, I don't think the supremacist title, applies to myself or Tommy Robinson. But the thing is, what's funny is it does apply to Muslims though, because in their Quran 3110, if my memory serves it correctly, it says that Muslims are the best people on the planet. That's supremacist to me. Like I don't have an ideology that says I'm the best on the planet. And I'm sure Tom Robinson doesn't have an ideology that says his people are the best people on the planet. However, the Arab Muslim has a book saying that, Muslims are the best people on the planet. And if that's not supremacist, I don't and it's funny that the people that are accusing both Tommy Robinson and myself of being a supremacist have a book and ideology telling people that they're the best people on the planet. Like that to me is irony 101. You know, it's just irony 101. How are you going to accuse me of being supremacist when I can go straight to your book and find your book telling everybody else that Muslims are the best? I don't have that kind of supremacist ideology saying black people are the best. I'm sure Tom Robertson doesn't have a book saying white people are the best. Who's the supremacist here? They do normally say that when you point your finger at somebody to accuse them of something, there's probably about three pointing back at you. So I would guess there you go. The very worst Muslim is better than the kuffar, big bros in the building. Can you imagine that? The very worst of the Muslim is better than the kuffar. So what, you could be a Muslim pedophile, Muslim rapist, Muslim enslaver, Muslim murderer. You are better than little old me, who hasn't done any of that stuff. You can do all of that stuff and be better than me because you said Alhamdulillah and you prayed 5 times a day. That's bullshit. That's bullshit if ever I heard it. But hey, like I said, that's them. It's not compatible with ours. It's not compatible with a lot of people's. I would say that a lot of people that are coming into contact with Islam are not able to live in harmony with Islam. because I guess Islam isn't about cooperation. It's about domination and subjugation. I don't have an ideology that's about domination or subjugation. I don't think Tommy Robinson has an ideology that's about subjugation or domination, but these people do. They have one. But then they're accusing myself and Tommy Robinson of being supremacists. I don't get it. I don't get it. I really don't. It's really weird to me that you would be so brazen in your nonsense. Sarah, what do you say to people who say there's no such thing as racism? There are some black people in the US that say this. They're entitled to their opinion, but I'd have to go with the statistics, you know. Um, there's all kinds of isms. It's like saying, oh, there's no sexism. You know, it's like, really? Okay, fair enough. It's like, how do you create, how you doing? It's like saying, how do you substantiate that there's no sexism? How do you substantiate that there's no racism? You know, I mean, there's all kinds of isms. There's ageism. There's all kinds of isms. You can't say none of it exists because then you are, I guess, then you're just like being stupid, really. I guess you're being silly. Just Lee Patterson is the guy who says there's no racism. He's entitled to his opinion. I'd vehemently disagree with him, though. Jay Boogie's in the building. Big up Jay Boogie. Sarah, if the white man rose up and took back all that it owned, would it be justified? Well, if white people own stuff, then yeah, take it. If it's yours, if you own it. Sarah, if Africa is for blacks, why isn't Europe for whites? Europe is historically a white peninsula. It's white land. Of course, it's white land. Of course, it's of course it's white land. That's like, you know. Oh, Paco Rodriguez says there's no such thing as racism. Okay, fair enough. If you say so. Sorry, did you see Lauren Southern documentary? It says Miss Electric Spirituality. I did not see it. Marcus Gilbert says Black never owned Africa. Hmm. Ah, so it's not Black land then? I don't know. You'll have to make me understand that. Chris Spence is in the building. The father of racism is Abrahamic religions. Racism was first a religious construct, says Big Bro Heavyweight. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. What are we saying? You should check it out, fam. I'll try and check it out. A lot of white people, not all, are very specific in their outrage. How many black people have been murdered in South Africa and how some white people get murdered is all outrage. Says run from your wife. Um, Becario says, do you believe in multiculturalism? Um, you have to describe what multiculturalism is to me because I think people have different perceptions of what multiculturalism is. I mean, if you describe it and I hear the description, I'd say I'd agree with it or don't because I've had so many different descriptions of multiculturalism. Multiculturalism works if everyone plays along. Wow, says Sophia Phillips. We can never get everyone to play along, can we, with anything? You know? No one owns a land or country. It was put there for us to live on. Man who made up all this owning is bollocks. A die. Okay, a diverse community of people. Does it work? Um, I guess nah. I don't know if it does. I think people are going to be people. You know, like I think people are going to cling to their cultures and cling to the things that make sense to them. And if one group of people are set to dominate that society, it's not going to work. because everyone's going to be like, oh, but what about my culture? No, what about my culture? No, what about my people? No, what about my ethnic group? And so I don't know if it will work. I'm not going to lie. Ethnocentrist. All right, I gotta go. But as a white nationalist, I gotta say you're a smart guy. I appreciate you being real about the anti-white hatred in the media. Okay, bro. Um, you're not using the proper analog of supremacy, says Run Rabbit. Okay, cool. What's the proper one? I don't mind, man. Let me know. Through multiculturalism, identity is lost, says Ryan68584. That could probably be. That could probably be. People will people may not want to lose their own culture, and so they will push back with this whole multicultural thing. Yeah, it's like people are going to want to be themselves, man. Like there's no like one way to be. So I guess people are going to, like I said, there's enough space on this planet for us all to actually live in our own place and be cool with one another. But it doesn't mean that the Chinese person's got to take Indian culture, or the Indian person's got to take African culture, or the African person's got to take European culture, or the European's got to take Arab culture. It doesn't mean that. Like I don't believe that that's it's a respect though. You have to respect your fellow human being and give them the respect that you would deserve. But you don't have to like, you know, assimilate and be like, yeah, everyone's the same, because everyone isn't the same. I don't think everyone is the same, and we'd be actually fooling ourselves to believe that everyone is the same. I think. Wayne Riley says, proud to be white, proud to have black friends, proud to have zero Muslim friends. Okay, dude. Okay, dude. Sarah, black and white play diversity well. Love my black brothers and sisters. The wealth of our culture they bring. Hypothetical question, just curious. Uh, all races unite against Islam, says ethnocentrist. The only religion that, oh, hang on. Let's go back up there. Scrolling through too fast, man. Only religion could give a pass to murder, rape, tyranny, and racism, and make protagonists feel virtuous. Those who innately know their actions to be evil condemned it without ethereal help. Does religion give a pass to murder, rape, and tyranny and racism, big bro? Do you guys agree? Do you agree? Yeah. Hey, Janai is up in the building. Still got to call you, Janai. I'm calling you. Don't worry. I'm setting stuff up, Janai. Don't. It's coming. Don't worry. I'm setting it up. I'm coming. Don't worry. I'm coming. Um. Uh. Bum 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 bum. DM me. We'll talk. Don't worry. It's coming. I know I'm taking a little bit long, but it's coming this week. I'm gonna call them today, and I'll let you know today. Um. I read through the title and thought Sarah had a meltdown. Gosh. Meanwhile, in the US, the parties are arguing over whose balls are bigger. Maybe. I have Sophia Films. I said I have no problems with multiculturalism. I seriously think that every group played nice. It will be all good. It's only the Muslims and Orthodox Jews that want to remain outsiders. Okay. It's our we trust. Thanks, Janaya. Thanks. Um. Uh, Oh, Molotov Mank. Okay. Do you think you should learn the language of the country you're moving to? 100%. Of course. How else are you going to communicate? Of course you should. That makes perfect sense. If you're going to move somewhere, like learn the language at least. Learn the language at least, man. Come on. Lisa Odom says hi from America. Hey, what part of America are you from? Come on. You need to learn, you need to learn the language of the society that you're going to move into. Come on, let's just be honest. It doesn't make sense to not learn it, you know? It doesn't make sense to not. Hi from Brixton, Scarlett Sanchez. Hi from Brixton. How you doing, my Brixton peoples? Hi from Australia, says Havana, Cuba. That's funny. Atlanta, Georgia. Georgia Peaches. Okay. Without multiculturalism, you wouldn't have soul food, hip hop, black swag in the States. America would be boring without my black brothers. Yeah, people still have their own stuff, Much like I said, I'm not saying multiculturalism is a bad thing. I'm just saying, people are gonna be people, man. Like I can't force my culture on other people, and I wouldn't want other people forcing their culture on me. So, how multiculturalism will work, if there's somebody trying to dominate the culture, it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. This Tommy March is gonna cause havoc, and I can't see it doing much. This country is done for, says Oi, dickhead. Okay, why is a country done for? Sarah Garvey, if the Muslims ever took over England, would you ever convert and be alhamdulillah? Mate, I'd get out of the bloody country first, mate. I tell you that much. I'd get out of the country, mate. SW9 representing. I used to live in SW9, I'm not gonna lie to you. So yeah, let's rep SW9. Sarah, you read Culture of Critique. No, I haven't read that. I haven't read that. Harry Kane, we've got Liverpool support. I mean Liverpool, we've got England supporters up in here. England are doing well with our multicultural ways in World Cup. I guess so. A lot of black and mixed race players on the England team. A lot of black and Theresa May's in crisis. Sabid Javid will be the next Conservative leader. The problem with whites is that they keep running away instead of fighting back. White flight opens up these places to Muslim domination. That's interesting. Like I said this the other day. My 11-year-old daughter had an induction day, right, at her new school, and I don't live in a Muslim area. I don't. My area is not a Muslim area. However, I went to the school, and I would say at least 40%, about 40% of the girls at the induction day at the school had on a hijab, and I was like, um, this isn't a Muslim school. However, most of the girls there, or I'd say a big majority of the girls there, were Muslim. And I was like, what's going on here? And literally, I was like, I didn't notice it until I just walked in and I was like, hijab, 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 hijab. And I'm like, these are like 11-year-old girls. And I'm like, what is going on? Like, seriously, what's going on here? And I don't live in a quote unquote Muslim area. So I don't know. I don't know. Sophia Films, where in the States are you? You're one of the Nazi movies. What are we saying? No Chinese on England team either. I don't think many Chinese people integrate and play football in society. I don't know. That's what I'm guessing. Same with Asians. I don't think a lot of Asians in the UK, but they're not to be playing football. But just might not be their culture. They might be more, as far as I know, growing up, the Asian people were not very sporty people, and that's not to say they can't play sport. They just weren't very interested in playing sports. You know. Sarah Garvey, in your opinion, is the situation in Palestine the same as the apartheid in South Africa? I don't know because I get varying stories on. Um, okay, so let's. I had to look at this biblically, even though I'm not a Bible follower. Okay, so I would just throw a spanner in the works just because I can. Okay, so if we look at Palestine and we look at um, Jerusalem and that area, if you look at it biblically, according to the Jews, it was called the land of Canaan, right? Called the land before the Jews and the Palestinians moved in. It was called the land of Canaan, and so the land of Canaan belonged to the Canaanites, and the Canaanites were described in the Jewish Talmud as Negroes. So, I mean, just think about it. If you just walk out of Africa and you're in Israel, so it's not a far stretch to say that the original inhabitants of that land were actually black people. It's in the Jewish scripture. The Jewish scriptures call the Canaanites Negroes. So, you know, maybe it's none of their land. Maybe it's a Negro's land. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Hang on. Hang on. Small grey uniform says I'm out later. Peace. Land of Canaan, according to Moses, who stole from Kemet. Yeah, according to the Jews, land of Canaan. You know, so see, I don't deal with the Bible. You know me already. I'm not a religious person. So I'm just saying, going by the religious biblical scripture, because I guess it's a religious fight, you know, to some degree. You know, the Jews believe that land was given to them by God, etc., etc. So I said, if you want to go by the scripturally, the land was the land of the Negroes, according to the Jews. So give it back to the Negro. It won't happen, but I'm just saying, just throwing a spanner in the works. Do Muslims still stalk you, brother Sarah? Says Ryu Panther. Bro, all the time, bro. All the time in my inbox, all the time in the comment sections of like videos and stuff. They're obsessed, man. They just got this whole, it's the Alhamdulillah virus, man. It stops your brain from working. It just makes you, it's just like they would stalk Tommy Robinson. Do you know what I mean? They would literally stalk him. Like Ali Dawah was trying to stalk that guy for a whole damn year. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what it is about the Alhamdulillah virus, man. Like, it makes you obsessed with people who critique your religion. Like, really obsessed. Like, crazy. Like, crazy obsessed they get. So every time I put a comment on a video, oh, Sarah Garvey, you're a batty man. Sarah Garvey, you're gay. Oh, Sarah Garvey. I'm like, bro, chill the fuck out. Like, just comment on the video. Like, what the hell's going on? Like, chill out. But these people can't stop themselves, you know? They're actually obsessed. Bigger Belly's in the building. Like, they're just obsessed, man. Like, you should see my inbox. If I could show you my inbox on Twitter, on Instagram, like I had this one guy who just kept making different Instagram, like I said before, kept making different Instagram profiles and sending me a message. So I would see a new message in my inbox, like, what's this? And it would be a video of him naked. Don't ask me why. Don't ask me why. But he found that kind of shit funny. And I'm just like, these people are fucking weirdos, bruv. Like, they're just weird. They're just fucking weird. I'm telling you, and I'm telling you, it's that cousin on cousin marriage thing going on and with them. Like, I'm telling you guys, that cousin on cousin inbreeding shit they got going on is fucking up their whole DNA structure. I'm telling you, bro, it's making them slow. It's making them like that, mate. I'm telling you. Yeah, they got that going. There's too many of them that are cousin on cousin shit, and they just slow. And they just get obsessed. And now they make channels with me. I've got like 3 different channels with me with my picture up, and they go around making like comments in my name because they've got my picture up. And people, one guy was in my inbox last week, like, what the fuck do you know about the case? It's a white guy, and I'm like, what the hell are you talking about, bro? Like, what are you talking about? He's like, oh, you don't know anything. You should shut your mouth. And I'm like, no, this is weird. Like, who the fuck are you? And I was like, he's come onto my Facebook, seen a comment on YouTube, right? This is a slander. He's seen a comment on YouTube with my face, with my name, and he's come to my Facebook to go fucking crazy on me. And I'm like, bro, it's not even me, you know, like, it's not even me. So I've got trolls, like, just basically, you know, like acting as me, impersonating me. I apologize if the guy said something like fucked up, but it weren't me. You know what I'm saying? So That's the kind of stuff that they do. They're obsessed. I mean, have you seen they've got like, YouTube channels in the name of Toby Robinson. Do you know what I'm saying? And they're just making dumb comments. So that's it, man. That's the Alhamdulillah virus. I'm telling you, it fucks with your brain. And the thing is, even people that aren't the product of, cousin marriage and all this kind of stuff, they get given the virus. Like once you convert, it's that virus you just get given. And so I see a lot of black guys acting the same. I'm like, bro, I know you're not your cousins never got married because we don't do that shit. So like, why are you acting like a dumbass now? Why are you acting like a dumbass? But it's like they just get given the virus and just keep going with the virus. Do you know what I'm saying? So I'm telling you, man, that Alhamdulillah virus is very strong. It's very strong. What we saying in the comment section? Dum 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 dum. What's happening in South Africa as a black man? Do you think that Africans are just fighting because I dealt with that already, man? Hang on. Sorry. Yeah, okay, anyway. Yeah, so sorry, fam. But yeah, sorry. I'm concentrating on the chat. I want to see WWE in tag team match: Sarah and Tommy versus Ali Dahra and Hijab. Mate. Yeah, well, we know that. And seriously, I think it's something that this needs to be spoken about a little bit more. This cousin marriage thing. I think it's something that needs to be spoken about a little bit more because I think it's kind of brushed under the rug and people don't generally speak about it and they act as if it doesn't exist. You know, Last statistic I saw was, majority of stillbirths in the world, I think, are in Pakistan because of the inbred marriage and rate or something along those lines. I don't want to quote it because I don't, off the top of my head, I don't know. But yeah, it's something that people need to speak about a lot more, because I don't know, man. Even like I said, I know people were upset at me because I said Ali was autistic, right? And people are like, oh my god, autism's a thing, and da da da. And all right, cool, fine. I don't have to use the word autistic. However, what I'm finding is that I'm speaking to these people, and I'm like, something's misfiring. I don't know what it is in their brain that's misfiring, but they're just not getting it. It's just not. It's like, and I said it must be that IQ lowering through all the, generations of cousin on cousin intermarriage, like, and the children just being born out of that shit. So, you know, inbreeding is a thing. I said I've actually had an Arab guy years ago when I was working. I was working and this guy came up to me and he was talking and we got friendly and he was from Dubai, as a matter of fact. And then we were talking and he was like, oh, are you married? And I'm like, no, I'm not married yet. He's like, do you have a woman? I said, yeah, I've got a partner. I said, we've been together for a while. And he said, oh, how did you meet her? And I was like, oh, we met through, certain friends, all this kind of stuff. He's like, oh, so, because is she your family? Is she your cousin? And I was like, and I was like, huh? Is she my cousin? And I was like, no. She was like, and he was like, yeah, because you can marry your family, it's actually okay in Islam. I was like, one, I'm not a Muslim, and two, I have absolutely no desire to marry my cousin because how am I going to go back to auntie whoever and be like, hi auntie, me and your daughter are doing the wild thing? I'm like, nah, no, 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 no. Me and my cousins are cool, but we ain't cool like that. You know what I'm saying? Like me and my girl cousins are cool, but we ain't cool like that, bro. Yeah. So if that's your culture, like I said, you have every right to have it. You can have it over there. But don't try to bring that shit to me, bro, because I ain't having that shit. I've got many girl cousins, And the one thing I ain't doing is that with my girl cousins. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're cool. Yeah. Somebody's gonna die that day if I done that with my cousin. Auntie and uncle be like, you did what? What the fuck happened? Someone gonna die. Someone gonna die. Someone's gonna get killed. Someone's gonna get fucked up. You don't touch your cousin. You know what I'm saying? You just don't touch your cousin. You know what I'm saying? So your brother says hijab is gay in the closet. I mean, oh, I could divulge the info, but man ain't divulging the info yet. Do you know what I'm saying? It's not even for me to divulge the info. You know what I'm saying? But let me just sip. I'm just saying, maybe a reason why you only see him in videos pumping iron with other men in the gym and touching other men whenever he's debating them. Maybe a reason. Just saying. Then he wants to wrestle with guys all the time, get sweaty, roll up on the floor with them. Maybe a reason. I'm just saying. Could be. Maybe. You know? But I can't divulge the info. It's not my info to divulge, you know what I'm saying? It's not my info to divulge, but yeah. It's just funny. It's just funny. Sweeten LeBron says, Sarah, how you doing? Dave Smith, you're talking about hijab. And Pen Father says, speak. I'm not speaking it. I'm not speaking it. I'm not speaking it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not speaking it. But it's gonna get spoken. I'm not speaking it, but it's gonna get spoken. It's just funny. It's just interesting, you know, like what you can find, what people will divulge to you, you know, like what people just come up in your inbox and say about an individual, and you're like, what? I didn't ask for that information, but here I have it. It's right here. I don't know why they decided to talk about it, but I don't know. It's here, you know. Anyway, what we saying? Family are going to roll out soon. It's been fun. It's been fun. Pakistani are all inbred. I won't say they're all inbred. Do you think this would be a problem in the world security in the future? I don't think they're all inbred, but you know, I think inbreeding and the way in which scientifically you can find that, you know, it hurts you more than it helps you to actually be, you know, be inbred. So, you know. Dark Side. I didn't go to the Sarnetta Awards actually. I was going to, but I decided against it. I didn't go. But I heard that it went well. I heard that the Sarnetta Awards it went well. Due to a lot of inbreeding for thousands of years. Okay, says Ray Panther. 70% Is it 70%? Run from your wife? Is it 70% inbreeding? I don't know if it is. Why does hijab always touch people who's conversing with? Bobby, not jokes at all. Very real. Says Big Bro Heavyweight. Big Bro, listen, I'm not. It's down to you, bro. I'm not. You know, it's down to you. So, yeah, yeah. I just think it's funny that it was Sarah's gay, Sarah's a batty man. And it's like, mm, 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 mm. Yeah. Anyway, fam, I've had enough fun for today. I'm not gonna lie, I've had enough fun. But yeah, let's round up. Um, the supremacist thing, myself and Tom Robinson being supremacists, it's a nonsense. Okay, and so it can't be substantiated. Okay, if we look at what actual Black supremacy is or isn't, or we look at what white supremacy is or isn't, those titles do not apply to myself or Tommy Robinson. Is my final statement. Okay. Oh, Big Bro said I'll be back shortly. Okay. That's that